So the Lakers have officially been eliminated from playoff contention, which means right now they must begin their rebuild. For this video, we're going to be talking about a full Los Angeles Lakers 2022 rebuild, going step by step what I believe are the best moves they must try to do this summer to rebuild a championship roster for next season. We're going to be talking about salary caps, the players on the roster, and moves that I believe would rebuild them in a perfect situation. So if you're a big Lakers fan and want to see what a new team could look like next year, you're going to love this video. Before getting on with the video, I just want to say, if you're new to the channel and you love basketball, welcome to Easy Buckets. My name is Soom and I make basketball videos every single day. So if you're a hoops fan, you're a passionate one, be sure to hit the subscribe button, turn on post notifications to not miss any of my upcoming videos. If you watched this video and you loved it, do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I would truly and greatly appreciate that. Trust me guys, a like goes a long way. But without wasting any more time, let's talk about the Lakers off-season rebuild. The first thing I want to look at is the Lakers 2023 upcoming roster. Who is on the team right now that of course they have to work around to build a new team? They have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook is on a player option. They have Talen Horton-Tucker for 2 more seasons and Kendrick Nunn on a player option as well. And during this season, they signed Stanley Johnson to a 1-year deal of $2 million. So of course, they will be having 6 players that could possibly be on the remaining roster to work around when it comes to trades, free agent signings to build around, and then of course, this is the start. The 6 players going into the offseason with the Lakers will be losing all of these players due to free agency: Avery Bradley, Wayne Ellington, Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Trevor Ariza, Cam Bazemore, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, DJ Augustine, Wenyen Gabriel, and Mason Jones. All of these players will be going into free agency and any NBA team can sign them. So what is step 1 for the Lakers? I believe this is step 1. The Lakers must re-sign and bring back Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Wenyen Gabriel, and Dwight Howard. I believe this season, these 4 players have shown bright spots to earn a spot in the roster next year when it comes to them being young, being impactful on their roles, and of course, the highlight here definitely is Malik Monk. Malik Monk signed a veteran's minimum contract last offseason, but this year has stepped up for the Lakers offensively, averaging about 13 points per game and being a spark plug, scoring plus 20 points on nights where he's needed. With the Lakers right now needing more of a 6-man scorer, especially for next season, I see Malik Monk as a great candidate to come off the bench and just be a scoring spark plug. Similar to a Lou Will personality, similar to a Jordan Clarkson personality, I say Malik Monk is a must bring back. And then of course, I'm a big fan of Austin Reeves. AR-15 was phenomenal this year. It was his rookie season, and I do believe as he plays with the Lakers and LeBron, he's going to keep developing into an Alex Caruso type of player. And then of course, Dwight Howard. I know he wasn't amazing this year, but I do believe off the bench as a center, the Lakers need that interior defending, and Howard isn't a bad idea to bring back. The next moves the Lakers should make is explore the trade market, and this is very important. With the 6 players currently on their roster, I believe there are 2 trade scenarios that could make the Lakers a whole different roster that could elevate them to a whole nother level. The first trade is trading away Russell Westbrook to the New York Knicks in exchange for Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, and Alec Burks. This trade will give the Lakers a lot of good quality depth, and I do believe it's something they must look into. The New York Knicks had a horrible season and didn't even make the play-in tournament or make the playoffs. And with that being said, Tom Thibodeau and the Knicks have said that this summer some big changes are happening, and I do believe the big change is them bringing in a star player. And with Russell Westbrook having the name value, the blockbuster personality, Russell Westbrook would simply be amazing in New York to be a beneficial factor to the atmosphere and hopefully bring in some winning culture to RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. This trade I do believe gives the Lakers a lot of good quality offensive depth. Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier are not known as the best defensive players, but I like them over Russell Westbrook when it comes to shooting. Russell Westbrook is not a good floor spacer, so this trade brings him good playmaking and shooting. And with Alec Burks being a vet who is reliable off the bench, I do believe Frank Vogel or whoever the new head coach is going to definitely have to work around Alec Burks, Kemba Walker, and Evan Fournier. This is my first trade proposal, the Lakers trading with the New York Knicks to of course get good quality depth, trading away Russell Westbrook. But then there's also another trade in mind that I do want to put forward, and that's the Lakers trading away Talen Horton-Tucker. This would be the ideal deal. They'll be targeting Jeremy Grant of the Detroit Pistons, and this will be what they have to offer. It would have to be Talen Horton-Tucker, Kendrick Nunn, and their 2027 first round pick. Yes, I put the first round pick in the first trade with Russell Westbrook because I do believe the Knicks would be more drawn to doing the trade if they get a first round pick in return. But I do believe if the Lakers had to pick between the Knicks trade or this Pistons trade with giving up that first round pick, I would prioritize this trade more, as Jeremy Grant is a whole lot better than Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, and Alec Burks. Going into the summer, Jeremy Grant will be entering his final season with the Pistons, and with the Pistons in a full rebuild mode, they want to trade Jeremy Grant as soon as possible to get away his trade value and bring in future assets. And that's why this trade makes sense. LeBron and the Lakers have been targeting Jeremy Grant ever since last season, with him being one of the better 3-and-D players, a small forward, power forward player that can even play in a small ball situation to shoot the ball, finish at the rim, and block shots on a consistent basis on the interior. Jeremy Grant has been a very popular Lakers target, and in this summer, if the Lakers can target him with Talen Horton-Tucker, it'll be a huge upgrade. The Lakers have to convince the Pistons that THT and Kendrick Nunn could be a good factor to their rebuild, and then the Lakers get somebody that can contribute immediately to another championship run. I want the Lakers to target the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons via a trade in this summer. The next move that I do want to put out in question is what do they plan on doing with Frank Vogel? This season, a lot of Laker fans have been very upset with how Frank Vogel has been coaching the team. And I will say this, Frank Vogel is not a bad coach. He is a good coach, but he's simply more of a defensive-minded coach, which means the roster that's constructed for him has to be defensive-minded players. And with the Lakers roster not being defensive-minded this season, Frank Vogel has kind of gotten a lot of the blame for their loss. And of course, I do believe with the rumors we're hearing, the Lakers and Frank Vogel are going to part ways. I don't think he's going to have a troubled time finding another head coach position somewhere else, but I will say that the Lakers need a more offensive-minded coach with LeBron James on their roster. So of course, that's a big important move. What are they going to do with Frank Vogel? Are they going to fire him? And which head coach should they bring in? So after re-signing those players and making those two trades, this is what the Lakers roster will look like. They'll have LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Stanley Johnson, Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, Alec Burks, Jeremy Grant, Malik Monk, Austin Reeves, Wenyen Gabriel, and Dwight Howard. Which means they'll have 4 more roster spots available to sign players in open free agency. I will say this, whoever Rob Pelinka decides to sign, it's going to be very important. I would say focus at least one of these free agent signings towards a big man. I'm going to put a list on the screen right now of free agent bigs that could be good targets. Hassan Whiteside, Thaddeus Young, Yusuf Nurkic, Serge Ibaka, Derek Favors, Montrezl Harrell, and Chris Boucher. If the Lakers can sign at least one of these bigs to the veterans minimum deal, that would be a big time banger, as AD can have bigs off the bench of Dwight Howard and these vets to support the interior defending. And then of course maybe sign another guard and another wing, but then also focus their final 2 roster spots on maybe younger players they have to develop, potentially Taco Fall, potentially other young guards in the league. There are so many options out there. Don't go full throttle like this year on veteran players. Go for players that of course can be developed along the way. This, I believe, is a very important step when it comes to free agency. So yes guys, this wraps up my video talking about the ultimate rebuild of the Los Angeles Lakers. What's most important to me is I want to know your thoughts. Do you believe this rebuild is a good idea, or do you believe the Lakers should make another move? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section down below. I plan on making a lot more rebuilds just like this, so stay tuned for more videos. But other than that, take it easy, God bless. I'll see you all next time on Easy Buckets. Woo!